Hey, is this thing on? We in the future? Is this Facebook Live? I am here and I'm waiting to see if this is working. This is the first time I've ever done a Facebook Live. There has been others, but not on this particular platform on Facebook. Anyway, I am told to wait a few moments to see if you guys are alive and well, and I am connected to you from this space to your space, however this may be. So yes, this is me talking to you from this place. What we're doing here is a Facebook Live with the wonderful Tonewood-Amp. I am a huge fan of this beautiful machine. I will talk about it a little bit in the next little while. There is a lot to unpack about it. It is such the most wonderful device, which I have been very fortunate to be using the last little while. It's an amazing thing. It really is quite a phenomenal thing. I'm assuming a lot of you guys who are sort of signing in right now are familiar with it, but I'm going to explain it anyway for maybe a few of you that don't. Hello, I see people are alive. Hi, how's it going? How's life working out for you? This is, like I said, the Tonewood-Amp. It mounts on magnetically on the back of what I'm playing, this particular guitar. This is a Cassini guitar made here in South Africa. And I actually have a few instruments which it mounts on. It takes a little X-brace inside the guitar. You stick it in there, clips on the back inside. It's like mounts in sort of 2 minutes. This thing's installed, and I'm going to show you what it does. But before I do that, I must maybe let you know who I am. Not just some random long hair talking to you with a strange accent. I am Guy Buttery from South Africa. I am here broadcasting from this small little room we have here. It's a sort of 3 meters by 2 meters, which in American speak is, what is that, 9 feet by 8 feet, 7 feet, something like that. A small little space. The reason I'm telling you that is because you're hearing my voice speaking in a smallish room. What you're going to hear come out of the guitar is a huge sound because of the Tonewood-Amp. It's going to sound like I am broadcasting from the bottom of a mine shaft or a giant cave in Bali, or sort of a bottomless pit in the Himalayan mountains, as you like, depending on the parameters what you set. I am rambling. I am going to make some sounds, and I am going to play some guitar whilst making sounds. Yes, let me explain. I'll start with something that really demonstrates the Tonewood-Amp, and that's what I love doing a lot, is what they would call in Indian classical music, they would call the alap, but what in the West they would call like a noodle, a jam, rubato, improv. So what you're hearing there, before I kick into this tune, is all those kind of effects, that shimmering reverb that you hear there. Well, it's not very shimmering. It's actually, I've dialed it in a way to be quite mellow. That is not me, like I said, playing in a cave in the bottom of the Himalayas or the top of the Himalayas or wherever I mentioned Bali. This is me in a small space with the guitar with this beautiful Tonewood-Amp mounted on the back, which is visible. Oh, it looks like the guitar needed a bit of a polish. Apologies, but you can see the Tonewood-Amp, and it mounts on. It's got a little magnetic X-brace thing. And it's got a series of effects. So what you're hearing is actually no amplifier, no electricity of any kind other than a battery-powered device that mounts onto the back. I see some of you are talking to me, and I'm so grateful for that. But I will respond. There is also people from in Phoenix, Arizona, from Tonewood-Amp who are also responding, but I will check in and say hello once in a while. But I just wanted to explain a little bit of that noodle and continue making sounds with this this guitar. So you hear that. It's the most wonderful thing, really, because practicing is just a whole new world. I kind of never play without it anymore. You've just got this beautiful sustain. What I'm using is the plate reverb. But I hope I've explained it a little bit. I will chat a bit more about it. But this is a tune of mine called Kiabat. that's the the wonder of the Tonewood-Amp. It's a miracle thing. It's totally revolutionary, and I think it's on drugs. It's Michael Hedges would be proud. I thank you so much. I take that as the deepest compliment. I'm a huge fan of his. Wonderful man, and incredible musician. Thank you. I see other people are saying other things. Thanks for saying other things. I will check all of your wonderful messages. I do assure you that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Alrighty, so I have a few little tricks here, but for now I'm going to stick with this this guitar. So you see there, I've turned my tuner on, which cuts the signal coming out of my pickup straight to the Tonewood. So you don't hear anything then. You don't hear the Tonewood-Amp activated, should I say. And I turn it back on. Hear that? It's just so cool because you're playing in a small space and you've got this like beautiful reverberant acoustic around you. So I'm just such a fan. I really am. I use it all the time and just totally love the giant spaces. Like I take this thing out into sort of open spaces where there's miles from any electrical source to plug in some sort of amplifier or PA system or kind of effects pedal or reverb pedals or whatever it is, and you've just got this just sitting mounting. This thing's just attached to the back with a cable. There's no magic tricks, although it feels like there should be. But yes, what am I going to play for you? I'm going to take you into a tuning which is so common and one that I do not know very well at all, but I did write this piece. Oh, haven't quite got there yet. And now the Tonewood's on. And what you're hearing is me using the plate reverb. It's got a bunch of parameters. I've basically, for those of you familiar with it, I've kind of, I have turned on the plate reverb itself, and I have taken off a lot of the higher frequencies, which is the hard cut, and I'm giving you a reasonable wet level of it. For non-guitar players or effects people, I'm making it sound like it's got sparkle. How's that? Or just zen into the tune. Something like that. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Yeah, I am going to... What am I going to do for you? I'm going to play you another piece. For those of you just tuned in, I am Guy Buttery. I am doing some noodles for you and some demonstrations with the wonderful Tonewood-Amp. Yeah, it's what was I going to say? It's so wonderful. I've worked with a few different sort of people making either instruments or making sort of appliances or accessories or effects or different little pieces that one would apply within their own creative tools or creative tool themselves. And the guys from Tonewood are just some of the loveliest people. It's just such a beautiful, talking about them today, such a beautiful family-run business. In fact, I've stayed at their place in Phoenix, Arizona, and just wonderful, wonderful humans. I would like to say that. And I would also like to tune this guitar at some point. Take this. This is a very strange tuning. Might need someone to tell me what it is, actually. It's E flat A, E flat B flat, D G, B flat D. Some kind of minor. Whoa. I understand there is some kind of tip jar as well, where you can donate of sorts, sort of busking on the internet, if you like. And also the other wonderful thing for all of you is that there is a 10% deal off Tonewoods today. There's a coupon, which is the coupon itself is live today. That does a bit of a wild hair, loose rogue hair there. Live today is the coupon. You get 10% off your purchase of a Tonewood-Amp. I highly recommend it, so check it out. It's a good day to buy one because you're getting 10% off. Anywho, this is a tune called, I think that's a drop dread tuning? Ah, I see what you did there. Yeah, so it's got an E flat, a B flat, D, G, B flat, D. Quite lovely, no? I think it's a G minor with an E flat. Anywho, I will leave that to you. This is a tune of mine called The Mending, which I wrote for a string quartet, but I'm going to give you the solo guitar version. How's that? I'm actually going to give you a tiny bit more Tonewood. A little bit more decay on the reverb itself. I'm going to give a little sparkle to the tops. And like so. You hear that? Harmonics on that. So lovely. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Taylor. So nice to see you there. How's it going? Alrighty, I'm going to mix it up here and get crazy on you and whoop, and show you that there is, in fact, whoop, do not fall over. Please do not fall over. That there is, in fact, another guitar and another Tonewood-Amp. Woo, look at that. 2020, the future is here. Put that over there for you. This is basically an older model of the Tonewood, one of the first ones, I think. Not one of the first ones, but one of the early models, that's for sure. There's that psychedelic, there's that wild dreadlock again. Hey, look at that. Woo, there we go. Where's the makeup and hairstylist when you need them, hey? Jeez. And it has a slightly different, has the same sound. It doesn't have the chorus effect which all the new ones have, but I've got this one perfectly set up because I used to use it on this guitar almost exclusively. This is a filed guitar. Wow, there you go. Also a little dusty. Made in the UK, wonderful guitars, and I'm going to play you a much older piece and really kind of slow things down because I've been kind of throwing sound at you. And this also does really demonstrate the tone because it's quite a slow piece and you can hear the effects running through there quite nicely. So tell me, is this that there? It is, in fact. Take a little bit of this off, excuse me. I'm taking off a little bit of the high cut off this particular reverb effect. A much quieter instrument, and this guitar itself, and also a little bit more punch in the mids, not as much low end. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's a guitar, it makes sounds. When are these expected to ship? Oh, you're not talking to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is a nice instrument, this. For those of you who ever saw the film With Nail and I with Richard E. Grant, it's like an 80s film. I think it's like maybe 30, 40 years old. It's a bit of a wild classic. This guitar comes from the town that film was shot in, Penrith, on the Scottish border in the UK. Good talk. Woo! Rock and roll. Let's dial that back a smidgen. This is a piece called 7-inch Postcard. The song here gives me a little bit of a gap to do that. Tonewood too. Something like that. Alrighty, guys. Well, what I am going to do now is, it's a bit of an experiment. In fact, my first outing with the Tonewood was in New York City. It was shipped to me to a friend's house who also happens to be a Tonewood artist, a wonderful, amazing, a wonderful human being and a fantastic guitar player by the name of Khaki King. And Tonewood shipped one of their small little amps to me there, and we did an experiment where basically, to give you an understanding once more of how it works. So it's got a little foot. I'll actually pop it off for you now. So inside the guitar here there is an X brace. There's a brace. There's a magnetic brace that is effectively holding in this Tonewood-Amp right here. So look, you can see there's like magnetic thing going down, right? It's kind of wild. So I can send the pickup out of this guitar straight in to there, right? And then this thing gets kind of vibrating. It actually has a foot, like a speaker has a kind of little foot. And that foot is kind of rubbing against the back of the guitar, creating the frequency, and the guitar becomes the amplifier, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm explaining that. I'm sure a lot of you did know that, but I'm going to explain something slightly different. So now, leading that into another thing. So this guitar I'm going to put out of shot, right, because I've only got one hand. I'm going to pick up another instrument, which is plugged into the end of this, right? This is where things get sort of 2020. Jeez, lost 3 years there. I think COVID-19 lost all of us with the, what is time? What is time? What is time construct? Anyway, I am now plugged that into here, right? You will see shortly what I'm going to do. I may have to adjust some settings, so bear with me. I no longer need this funny plectrum. I am going to put that there. And I'm going to play this giant sitar, right? The sitar is basically getting plugged from the pickup here, and it's now coming out of, I can actually show you, it's now coming out of the back of there. Because the sitar has a funny, it's a giant pumpkin, right? Literally, it's a giant pumpkin. That is the gourd of the instrument is a pumpkin itself. In fact, you can maybe hear the pumpkin seeds rattling around in there. You hear that? True story, as weird as it sounds. So the sitar is actually, it's difficult to mount a Tonewood on because it's you can't open the instrument like a guitar. There's no hole. Not that you can open the guitar, but there's an entrance with the sound hole that you can put the X brace. The sitar itself is kind of a closed circuit, a closed unit in that way. There's no way in. So what I'm doing is something which you can put on anything. You don't necessarily need to have another guitar. You can literally put the Tonewood itself. What I used to use was I used to put it on my giant dustbin in my house. It was like a metal trash can for you Americans, and that would be the resonating chamber. That would be the soundboard, the thing that is carrying the sound, if that helps. So you can put the Tonewood on anything. I mean, you can literally play guitar and put the Tonewood on your piano, if you have a piano, on a piano, and that will be the resonant chamber. So anyway, I'm rambling, but basically this instrument is coming out of that guitar. So I hope that's making sense. Anyway, a little bit of explanation about this thing. It's quite a beauty. Many tuning pegs, as you see, which equals many strings. This particular sitar has 19 strings, and unlike the guitar, has 2 sets of bridges. There's one, and there's the other in there, right? The strings underneath are all sympathetic, they're called tattafs, so they are sympathetic to what I'm doing on top. So they are tuned according to the scale and the raga in which this is based, which I am just going to improvise something for you. And you can hear the Tonewood coming out of the sitar, which I don't think has happened too many times. And it may take me a little while to get it set up. But let's hear. So you're hearing that? It's lovely. I've got quite a lot of reverb on there, but I'm kind of enjoying it. You hear that? So that's that beautiful kind of hole-like reverb we get in there. Anyway, I'm just going to improvise something for you in what would be called Rag Yaman, or in the West would be called a Lydian scale of sorts. You must be a patient man. I am. They say a good sitar player spends half his life playing and half his life tuning. I seem to tune more than I play, but I did prep this before all of you guys came on, so there we go. Let's get the drone going with us. Thank you so much. We're going to sneak in a small tribute, a small dedication here, just to close this off for the wonderful Helena. And there you go, guys. That's the sitar coming through another guitar, doing some weird things. Can you hear that? Yep. So basically, you can run the Tonewood on anything. You can run out of any chamber. What I mean is that you can put this device onto anything that's going to resonate. The Tonewood-Amp. There it is. The business. The one. So if it's not going to fit on your instrument like so, if you've got a ukulele or you've got like an ovation guitar, those guitars where you can't kind of open them up, you can kind of put it on anything. It's super cool that way. You can really just stick it on your bin, which I was doing for many times. I'd play in the kitchen and just kind of have this thing sitting on the bin, kind of shimmering through the room. Alrighty, guys, I think that's me. I really want you to check this thing out. I hope I've given you some kind of demonstration of it. It is the most wonderful device. I've really loved using it and kind of practice with it all the time. The most wonderful people, so do check them out. And like I said, there's a 10% coupon, a deal, if you order today, which is, the coupon is live today. There's a link. I think the link is going to help you more than my accent and my spelling. There is also a tip jar. If you guys enjoy it, do feel free to share some love there. And yeah, there's regular kind of sessions like this of Tonewood artists coming up and playing some tunes for you, demonstrating the instruments. I don't know if it's every week or every 2 weeks. I understand it's quite regular, and they've had a bunch of cool guys, some of which I've seen as well. So do check that out. But yes, sending so much love to you all, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm Guy Buttery, all the way from Durban, South Africa. How's that? Is that even a place? And yeah, sending so much love to you guys. It is now like almost 10:30 p.m. here. It's well past my bedtime. But yeah, no, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, hope to see you guys all out on the road when there is some hint of normalcy. And on that note, I hope all of you are finding some solace and some sense of every Monday. There we go, every Monday. And today's Monday, for those of you who weren't aware, it's Monday all day, apparently. For those of you at home and doing the lockdown, yeah, hang in there. It's an interesting and a wild time, but there is much reward, I hope, and much change, which is well needed in this time, right? Alrighty, guys. Mwah! Thanks so much for tuning in. I think I've never turned this thing off, but can you share what you are doing now? Are you talking to me? I don't know. Are you talking to me? Maybe not. Right now I'm doing some weird head wobble, if that's what you're asking. But yes, I will answer some of your queries. And yes, it's at 1 p.m. every Monday PST. So that's Pacific time. That's somewhere in America time. So check that out every Monday. Tune in, guys. There's some cool stuff coming your way, I'm sure. Alrighty, so much love to you, hey? Thanks for coming along, guys. Have the most wonderful day. Take care. Bye.